I'm doing well, and I'm just so thankful that we're in May, and yet the news cycle is hardly boring at USC. Got some spicy material this week.
I guess so. Let's get to the major ingredient. Jordan Addison, Biletnikoff Award winner, possibly making his way to USC. They certainly are the number one on most people's list in regards to this is his destination. This is his intent in entering the transfer portal. He is quite the player and would be a huge addition.
No doubt. I mean, and Jordan Addison, I mean, the value of him, if he goes to USC, if it's a big if, because he hasn't, declared that he's going to USC yet. But if he comes, Mark, I mean, he gives USC and the offense a much better chance of being able to score 40 points a game. And, that's been a recurring talking point. I've worn it out, but, it's the truth, right? The defense is not going to be a tower of strength. The defense is going to give up points. USC is going to have to win 42-35 games, and Jordan Addison would definitely enable USC to have a 40 points per game offense. He would certainly move the needle substantially in that direction. So that is the value that he'd bring to the table. I mean, you put him on one side of the field opposite Mario Williams, you would have elite starting wide receivers. Obviously, you want to rotate a lot of players in over the course of the season, but you have two heavy hitters if Jordan Addison comes to USC.
He caught 100 passes last year for almost 1,600 yards and 17 touchdowns, and that is an enormous addition. But to your point, it not only is the statistical influx to the offense that he provides, but he just makes everybody better by the attention that he draws. So you turn really good players into potentially superstar great players because they feed off the attention that he gets.
No question. And when we're considering the larger makeup of USC's offensive roster, the offensive line still has some questions about depth. That's going to be a reality heading into August camp, even if USC gets some offensive linemen in the transfer portal. But when you have someone who is, so good as Addison is, so adept at getting open, with his speed, with his skill, it just increases the margin for error that Caleb Williams has. And he can get the ball out quickly, get the ball to Addison in space, let him make a play, enable him to, evade defenders one-on-one, miss that first tackler. And, Addison would be able to make plays individually without, Caleb Williams having to drop back 7 steps, scan the field, wait for the defense, more quick throws to a guy like Addison. That's just a kind of a safety valve for the USC passing game, giving this offense more breathing room. It would just give Lincoln Riley more plays in which he can just get the ball to an elite receiver, trust him to make a play. That's just an easier way to move the ball down the field without having to rely quite as much on the offensive line. So that is just how Jordan Addison expands the margins for USC if he's able to join this roster.
Yeah, and I guess a different look at it in the same line is that those proverbial 50-50 throws become 80-20 with a guy with that skill set. And then a lot of those jump balls or what would be tight throws because of his skill set in his route running become easier throws for Caleb Williams because he's gained a step or two, or he's just completely frozen the defender and he's wide open. So it's just, tremendous addition. One of the very best in the nation if it takes place.